Welcome back to What's Up Media. Another week, another podcast. This is podcast number 8. We're here. The World Cup is here. It officially starts today. But before we get into all the World Cup madness, just a few things to catch up on. Back from holiday. Definitely deserve the time off. But back into it again. We'll be going over the Champions League final, that PSG Arsenal. We'll be discussing the managers' new positions for Man City, Liverpool, and Chelsea. Also going over top transfers that have already been completed, and also the rumoured transfers, and discussing all things World Cup and all the new rules that will be in place for the tournament. And then just a brief chat about a campaign we want to start. It's called Pass the Pound. But we'll get on to that at the end. So let's jump straight into it and discuss the Champions League final. So, as we well know, PSG went on to win it on penalties, absolute woeful penalties. To not even hit the target is criminal, in my opinion. If the keeper makes a save, it's a save, but it should always hit the target. When it got to penalties, it was always going to be a luxury, and probably you would benefit Arsenal, and that's probably their game plan. Obviously, they scored early, and then it kind of camped in their own half. As we can see from the stats, like the amount of shots on target, 1 goal was 1. So they didn't have a shot on target after Kai Havertz scored a goal, which is madness. Not many passes throughout the game, 285 in total, which is poor. Even for Arsenal, 3 corners, that shocks me. All season they've been playing well, using corners, and yeah, in my opinion, that early goal killed it for them. Obviously, to get me wrong, obviously everyone would want to go 1-up instead of 6 minutes. You bite someone's hand off for that, but I think in Arsenal's case, it was a case of can they hold on for 84 plus minutes, and that wasn't the case. Obviously, the penalty happened, put away from Dembele, and then we get the usual extra time, and then obviously on the penalties, like I said, terrible penalties, but can't let that stop Arsenal's credit for getting it in the first place. I'm sure at the start of the season, not many people would have had Arsenal even making the final. So, as much as they did lose at the final, Arsenal fans can be should be proud of the team. They obviously won the Premier League, so that's a good thing to have. So they won the Premier League. They got to the final of the Champions League. They got far in the competitions as well. So, on the whole, a very good season for Arsenal. So losing the Champions League is obviously it is a blow, but they definitely deserve credit for what Arteta's done there. And in his own words, the process has been trusted, and look, it's finally delivered something. So, what next for Arsenal? There's no reason why I can't see Arsenal defending the title again with everything that's going on with the other clubs around them. So if we move on now to the managers that have obviously left. So we've had Pep from Man City, Arne Slot from Liverpool, and obviously we had Rosenior gone from Chelsea. We've now got these guys in charge. Basically, it's another Pep. I think Maresca will do well with City, providing they keep all their players. There's obviously rumours of other players leaving to go elsewhere, and I'm sure you've all read it in in the news about the Spanish voting system and the mad bizarre about Haaland, but please do go and check it out, and you'll see exactly what I mean. But I think Man City will do well. But I do think Arsenal takes some stopping now. I think obviously all these managers are now in charge. It's going to take time. When it comes to Alonso, it's good that Chelsea have. It seems that they've changed their model slightly from head coach to manager. So hopefully he gets to call the shots. I think he can get the best out of the young squad they've got, and the talent they have got. Because they have got some good talent. It's just the last couple of years they've had too many coming in. So I think Alonso will tighten that up and get the best out of Chelsea. But they should be aiming for top four, and that's it. Top four should be their ceiling. And it should be seen to be a good season. Obviously, they've now in the position where Man United were last season, with more or less one game a week, which will benefit Chelsea and give Alonso the time he needs to bed in any players he's got and his system. So plenty of work on the training pitch. But now we go to Liverpool. Came as a bit of a shock. I know they had a really poor season last season, but the season prior to that, he won the league. I know, obviously, Slot took over from Klopp, but you still have to teach the players, train them, manage them well, and he obviously did that. But to be gone 12 months after winning the league is, in my opinion, is criminal. He should have been given more time. Obviously, there is going to be transition periods between obviously Mo Salah leaving and Konate going as well. Obviously, Robertson moving to Spurs, which we'll see later. Obviously, having a new centre back to partner Virgil come in, there is transitions there, and obviously other rumours of players coming in. But it's whether you and I think that a new manager can actually deliver. Obviously, getting Bournemouth to any European competition is amazing, and he well deserves this type of job. I just don't think he knows what he's in for yet, because you'll be going, or should be seen to going deep in every competition. Having sometimes 3 games in one week might be a step too far for him. But Liverpool needs to bolster their squad out with some talent and not just reserve players. But I guess time will tell. It's going to make for a good season. I'm sure all the Arsenal fans are buzzing, because it looks like it'll be staying in North London for a while, until these type of teams catch up. Obviously, with Arsenal winning the league and all these teams now with new managers, is there going to be a gap? Is it going to be a walk in the park for Arsenal? I don't see it. I can see another year with Michael Carrick at Man United being a team that could push Arsenal. Possibly not any way like Man City have been, but I do think United will push on, get a second based off what Carrick did last year. But he has got European competition, which does take its toll on teams, as we well know. The likes of Man City, they know off the back of Europe, they can drop points of like West Ham, for instance. It's whether or not United also have the players to do that. So only time will tell. But it's going to make for a good season, and hopefully Arsenal can put on a bit more of a attacking threat, and not just play these boring corners and possession game. But it got them over the line, so I can't see him changing it anytime soon. So if we go now to check out all of the biggest summer transfers and the rumours, as you can see here, Anthony Gordon to Barcelona was absolutely blew my mind when I saw that. I don't think he's done enough to warrant a move like that to Barca, especially for a fee that high, when I think they're not even willing to consider any offer for someone like Marcus Rashford, who's been there and done it for them last season. But I believe they're looking at another loan deal because they don't want to pay. I think it's 30 million. But Anthony Gordon, I think he only scored like 3 goals from open play last season. So a bit of a shock, but I guess with his pace and Barca's trickery, he might benefit from it. Only, only time will tell. But definitely came with a shock. Liverpool new centre back, French from Rennes, looks like a good signing. 55 million, quite steep again for a defender. But they definitely need to bolster that back line. Obviously Robertson's going to Spurs, or has gone to Spurs. Konate could be off. Players like Gomez, injury prone. Obviously Quanta left last season. You got players like Frimpong and Ramsey who are in and out of the team, got injuries. So it's very much chop and change, and whether or not this guy can fit into that mould and play next to Virgil and have a different right back every week. But looks a good signing for sure. So Hincapie has joined Arsenal on a permanent deal. That was 45 million. Yeah, makes sense. He's had a good season. Obviously won the league with them. They don't want to change much, and for 45 million, he proved it last season. He played well, so kind of justify the move for 45 million. That's a good bit of business for Arsenal. Quenda from Sporting to Chelsea, again, not a well-known name. I'm sure Chelsea know what they're doing. 44 million, quite hefty for a player we haven't really heard of, but hopefully Alonso can get the best out of him, and I'm sure he would have seen the players they're bringing in when he came for the job. So obviously we'll work with him. Højlund has moved to Napoli permanently now, 38 million. That just made sense. I think United have enough up top now. Rosenior, kind of finding a bit of form. Maybe United could do with like a younger striker, just a bit of backup. But as for Højlund, it's a good move. He did well at Naples last year. Yeah, only positive. So, good bit of money for United. Good move for Rasmus. Good for Napoli. That's kind of like the perfect combination. Daniel Marlin did very, very well at Roma last year. He made that move permanently at 21.6 million. He did well at Villa, but a bit weird he was loaned out to Roma, but he did exceptionally well at Roma. I think the Italian league it benefits players like Marlon and Højlund because they're bags of pace. It's a bit of a slower league, not so physical, and yeah, they probably didn't benefit from the physical game side of it, but Marlon should do well at Roma again next season, as they start climbing that table after very, very poor seasons. Um, Schuster has come in from Red Bull Salzburg to Brentford. Again, not a big, massive name. Unheard of for some people, me included. I haven't really heard much of him. But Brentford seem to know what they're doing. I'm sure for 12 million, give it 2 seasons and they'll be selling him to, I don't know, Bayern Munich or something for 80 million. So watch out for that. Brentford certainly know what they're doing. And yeah, Andy Robertson gone from Liverpool to Tottenham for free. Probably a good move for him. Help bolster their squad a bit, gives him a bit of minutes. Not sure he's going to like the hustle boss from London, but it's good that Spurs managed to stay up. So he could get that move and play Premier League football again. If we look at four top rumours, so Arsenal in the market for another striker. Julian Alvarez would make perfect sense. He's absolute quality. Possibly it would be good to see two up top for Arsenal. It could be Alvarez and Gokares, which would be great. I reckon they work well together. But yeah, certainly a good move for Alvarez and for Arsenal should that happen. It's rumoured to be about 80 or 100 million pound. So yeah, good to bolster their squad, and it's players like that would increase the attacking mentality of Arsenal, which is what we all want to see. Elliot Anderson, obviously Tottenham to Forest to Man City, rumoured about 60 to 80 million. That makes perfect sense. Kind of fill the gap of possibly the departing Rodri. He's outstanding, Anderson, and it just makes sense. Obviously, he's overachieving in an underachieving team at Forest. So for Forest to survive, they have to sell players like that, and that just makes perfect sense. And I'm sure after this World Cup, it would make sense for the move to happen. He could be pivotal to England's chances of winning the World Cup, with his ball winning skills and passing. Yeah, just a really good transfer should that happen. Carlos Baleba again being linked from Brighton to Man United, rumoured 50 to 70 million. Again, they need to fill the spot of Casemiro and Ugarte. You haven't really got any decent centre mids that could partner Kobbie Mainoo. Yeah, that does make sense that he would come in and kind of fill that gap and allow Bruno Fernandes to do what he does best and push forward and create, and obviously add to his 21, I believe, assists from last season, providing obviously if Fernandes stays, but it looks like he will do. I think he will. So yeah, good for all parties again. I think maybe Brian might feel a bit hard done by with the price tag, but certainly a good move for him and for United. And then we got Yan Diomande. Now, this guy I've been shouting about for the past few months. I watched a few games with him for Leipzig. He is outstanding. Like really quick, takes on players, which is very rare in this day and age. If you're a fullback, you certainly don't want to see him coming at you because he is rapid and he's not scared to take people on. Rumoured 60 to 80 million to Liverpool. That would probably do well. He's better on the left. He can play on the right, but he's better on the left. Probably feel where Cody Gakpo currently is. Very young as well. I think he's 19, 20. Really, really good. for them. I think, should he get the minutes, he will prove that he's certainly player Liverpool need. But again, it's the physical side of it that would worry me about him. He's not big in stature. He is low centre of gravity, but very, very quick. And yeah, Liverpool could benefit from that, providing they play to his strengths. Because Liverpool have been known in the past to not play to people's strengths, and it is quite annoying to for Liverpool fans. So that's all the transfers. Let's go over with the World Cup starting later today. Let's go over some of the new rules they brought in, which are bizarre. So if you look at this now, there's 4 new rules for time wasting and stoppages. So the 5-second restart. So players have exactly 5 seconds to take throw-ins and goal kicks once signalled by the referee. Delayed beyond this results in a turnover. A delayed goal kick gives opponent a goal kick, a corner kick, and a delayed throw-in results in a throw-in for the opponent. That's a bit mad, because you get teams like Arsenal, for instance, that you always see a player come over and they'll take ages to dry the ball and everything like that. So this is going to stop the long throw, which kind of takes a bit of the attack out of the game. So again, this only benefits the bigger teams, I think, because if you're a small team and you've got a long thrower, it's your way of getting up the pitch, slowing the game down a little bit, and trying to get back in the game. So this only benefits the big teams. 10-second substitutions. So substitute players have 10 seconds to exit the pitch from the nearest boundary. If they exceed this, the incoming substitute must wait at least 1 minute on the sideline before entering, forcing their team to play a man down. Now, we could get a scenario where a team are making 4 subs at once, and they all take longer than 10 seconds to get off. So a team could be down to 7 players. Is that how that happens? Because I think there's three transfer windows, substitute windows, which means that you have to at least have 2 for you to use 5 subs. I don't know how that works. I don't know how they're going to police that, because they're going to have to have a 5th official to just stopwatch and check that. Start the timer. And is it for when the ball goes off? Is it for when, God knows, for when the referee's whistle? It's all baffling, but I guess it's going to add to the drama. So a mandatory 1 minute wait. Outfield players who receive on-pitch medical treatment must remain off the field for 60 seconds after play restarts, with exceptions for goalkeepers, head injuries, or fouls resulting in a card. So that doesn't make any sense, because you're going to get people that do have a bit of cramp in, like, say, the 85th minute. The humidity is quite hot. You're going to have people going down just to catch a breather. But again, you have to wait 60 seconds. Again, this could come down to you could have someone on the sideline getting treatment while you're doing 2 subs. You have 3 players off the pitch, and then it's just madness, absolute madness. So this makes me think you're never going to get a substitution via a corner, because you're on the risk of being a man down, or 2 men down, 3 from a corner. It's baffling. Mandatory hydration breaks. This makes sense. So a 3-minute strategy hydration break is now enforced midway through both halves, around 23 minutes mark of every match. This makes sense. It's going to be very, very hot. Middle of the summer. we're going to see a lot of people with fatigue for sure. So again, this is where the subs come in. You're going to have to get 5 subs on with 3 sub windows. You're going to have 2, and this goes back to my 60 seconds or 10-second substitution thing. It's going to be a laughing stock, and you've got so many games, and so a 90-minute game now is not going to be 90 minutes. I expect to be watching the TV for at least 2.5 hours, I reckon. It's going to be madness. You have all these stoppages, then potential more stoppages, and you're going to have injury time. You're going to have substitution, like the usual 30-second substitutions. It's going to be madness, but it all adds to the drama. So we have 2 rule changes for the disciplinary conduct. So red cards for mouth covering. I guess this is to stop racism, I take it, or slander, they call it. I think you could generally have someone just like scratch their nose and then get a red card. It's going to be madness. The players have obviously been media trained to cover their mouth. I think the red cards are a bit harsh. I think if you're going to do something, at least a warning and a yellow first, because players' instincts are just going to cover your mouth like they do week in, week out. It's just going to be a habit, especially like after a game, for instance. Does that count? They all talk after a game with them and their mouth. It's barbaric. You also got leaving in protest. Players who leave the field to play in protest of a referee decision will also be issued a red card. Now, I think it's only happened once, and yeah, it seems mad. I don't think a red card should be a red card. It's definitely a warning or a yellow at least. It just seems a bit harsh. And then yellow card reset. So to accommodate the large tournament, yellow cards are now wiped from a player's record after completion of 3 group games, and again a quarter-final stage. So this tells me that we're going to have a lot of yellow cards, because players know that they can get yellow in the first 2 games, and then if you're already qualified, you don't play a third, it gets reset. Then you've got your round 16, then the quarterfinals, so you can get yellow in both of those, and then it gets reset again, and you get semis, and you definitely make the final. So a player could end the tournament on 4 yellow cards and still make every game. It's baffling. Absolutely baffling. I get the quarterfinal one maybe, but in the group game, if you got yellow, you got yellow. Like, miss a game. Simple as that. So third one is video assistant referee. Expanded reviews. So VAR can now step in to overturn incorrectly awarded corner kicks. This is going to be dragging on for a long time. Why corner kicks? We're not doing the same for long throw-ins. Problem is, you're going to have VAR what on the ball, because we can't wait 3 minutes to find out if the corner is an actual corner. Because sometimes you're watching it for ages, like 3, 4, 5, 6 attempts, and they're going to be, oh yeah, it's a corner now, and then the goal will go in or whatever. Oh, I have to look at that now, and it's just too much. Just leave the corners as they are. This is gonna. All of these rules could add another half an hour easy onto the game. So again, if you're a betting person, obviously responsibly. But if you're a betting person, just go for like added time, because you're going to get a lot of it. Like, come the end of the game in 90 minutes, you're like, all right, yeah, approaching 90 minutes, that board's going to go up and it's going to reach 15. Easy 15. But what can you do? It's the World Cup. They want you to watch us. They want you to watch it longer. So another one for VAR is players sent off via second yellow can now have that second booking reviewed by VAR to clear an obvious error. It's again, it's like you're gonna have a look at it every single. What about the first one though? Like the first one could be an error. Second one could be general foul, and then you're off. If you're going to do it for the second one, you also have to do it for the first. It's not going to work. But they make the rules. They've obviously clearly tested it somewhere. But we all enjoy the World Cup. Let's just not get too bogged down by that and just enjoy it. But I'm telling you now, be prepared for a long time added on each half, especially the second half. You're gonna mark my words. We're gonna see 15 at least once this tournament. 15 minutes. But get your comments below. Let's make a game out of it. How long do you think the longest added on time at the end of the game is going to be? I say 15, but let me know in the comments below what you think. So now we've chatted all about all that, and the World Cup is about to start. I just want to add in a few little things at the end here. We have a campaign we want to start using Patreon, where it's called Pass the Pound. We simply want to give back to communities, local football teams around the UK, help fund grassroots football. We want to be part of a generation in, say, 15, 20 years' time where they're playing for England. And we've obviously funded help them, and then obviously we want to bridge the gap between that and the bigger clubs. We want to maybe have an agency where we're their agent. Just back them. Just give the youth players what they need. That's girls and boys. Both will be funded. It could be like things like balls and goals and kits, travel, everything. We want to raise as much money as possible and be put to as many teams as we can. My team, Sheffield Wednesday, have just been through hell and back. Obviously, we are a bigger club, but I don't want things like that to ever happen again. Things like Bury, Morecambe, they went through with it. These clubs don't need to close; they just need a bit of backing, and that's what this Pass the Pound's about. I'm sure we'll start small with a couple of pound, and we'll certainly put in over time as well. Any money made from this channel as well will also be passed on to grow this Pass the Pound campaign, to help local youth players develop and move on to a bigger and brighter career within the English pyramid and even abroad. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. We are excited about it, and the more you watch, the more you subscribe, the more you comment, the more you pass it on, the more Patreons we make, the more money we can give, and it's just going to be really beneficial to everybody. And then it'd be good to have a lot of you even come down to watch the players that you're backing eventually. Just make a really good channel out of it and follow as much as we can in their development, because they need it. They definitely need it because they go into the system. Probably like 5% of players make it into some sort of football career. The rest are left to just go and get a normal job, 9 to 5. some of them end up in non-league. Players like Jamie Vardy, for instance, we don't want to lose players like that who are not having the right funding to help them in their careers. So we even want to do that. We want to help players that are struggling to earn a living, but they have the quality there. So we want to bridge the gap, make teams aware that these players are out there that that can obviously benefit from your help. So Pass the Pound is starting soon. We are in the process of doing a Patreon, but if you have any questions, do let us know in the comments below. We do want to hear from you all. Yeah, join this journey and pass that pound. So that's the podcast done with. Another one in there. We're now going to go to Trivia Tuesday answers. For those of you that did watch and answer yourself, we didn't have any comments, so I don't know if you actually did do the quiz. But for those of you that did it yourselves and you just want the answers, here they are. So we had 10 World Cup questions, ranging from easy to impossible. All we had to do was answer them. So here are the answers. So number 1 was, which country has the most men's FIFA World Cup in history? The answer is Brazil with 5. I think everyone knows that. Which tournament hosted and won the very first World Cup in 1930? That was Uruguay. I believe they won it twice. How often is the FIFA Men's World Cup tournament held? Every 4 years. But as stated in Tuesday's trivia, is we did have one a bit later because of the COVID thing. But yeah, it's every 4 years. Who is the all-time leading goal scorer in FIFA World Cup tournament history? That is Miroslav Klose of Germany with 16 goals. That's pretty impressive. I'm sure someone will beat it eventually, especially with a new format and more games, etc. But back in the day, he was absolute quality. Top marksman. Number 5, which legendary player scored the infamous Hand of God goal in 1986 quarterfinals? I think everyone noticed Diego Maradona. Certainly wouldn't get away with it this day and age because of VAR, but it was blatantly obvious. But what can you do? Number 6, who scored the fastest goal in World Cup history? Find the net after just 11 seconds in 2002. That is Hakan Şükür from Turkey. For those of you that didn't know him, again, he was a very good player. Very well known, good Turkish player. Number 7, which player holds the record for the most goals scored in a single World Cup tournament? That's 13 goals in 1958. It's Just Fontaine for France. Again, not my era, I wasn't born then. But I'm sure scoring 13 goals is pretty good. No one has to beat it yet. Number 8, which English referee made tournament history in 2006 by giving 3 yellow cards to the same player in a single match? That was Graham Poll against Croatia's Josip Simonic. 2 yellow cards would have been a red, but to give 3, it's mad. You should have seen it. Definitely mad. Number 9, which country has played in the most World Cup finals without ever winning the tournament? That is the Netherlands. They lost in 1974, 1978 and 2010. That 2010 was, I believe, the Spain final. That was the one in South Africa. Pretty good tournament. Yeah. Can you remember all the vuvuzelas? So loud. Number 10, which nation holds a record for the most consecutive failed World Cup qualification attempts, having entered the qualifiers 22 times without ever reaching the final? I'm sure Italy's current record would nearly compete with that, but no, it's Luxembourg. So hopefully you got some of those. If you got the last one, congratulations, that was deemed impossible. I wouldn't have got that for sure. So we go to the journeyman now. So this player played for Olympia, Bayern Munich, Blackburn Rovers, and Man City. Moved to Malaga, Cruz Azul, back to Olympia, Libertad, and Nacional. The clue was he won the Premier League with Man City in 2011-12 and is Paraguay's all-time top goal scorer. That was, in fact, Roque Santa Cruz. Good player in the day, to be fair. Yeah, really, really good, powerful, strong, and just all-round good player. Go to the stadium now. This one was a little difficult. Obviously, black and white doesn't help. But this was Dortmund's stadium, the Signal Iduna Park. So if anyone got that, congratulations. And for the badge, this one seemed pretty easy. Obviously, seahorses, black and white, they all gave it away. But the answer for this one was Newcastle United. So well done for anyone who got that. So that's the answer to the quiz. The podcast is done for another week. We have the World Cup starting literally today. So obviously stay tuned for any off-the-cuff videos. We'll try and do one. It would be nice to do one every night, early morning, while the games are on. We might do a live every now and again, depending how time goes here. We're in the UK, so we could be like 10 hours in front. So it could be really late. Like I think there's some like 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning games. I will be up watching those for sure. It's the World Cup. You have to be up. Shame I couldn't be there, but hopefully this channel grows big enough, fast enough that we'll make the Euros in 2 years' time, because that's in the UK. So help grow this channel so we can make it to the Euros. It'd be nice to meet some of you that watch. Hopefully some of our patrons when we get them. It'd be nice to meet up and cheer on the boys, provided we make Europe, but we should do. So enjoy the World Cup. Follow England, follow whatever teams you are. Leave a comment below if you where you're from, who you'll be supporting, and let's all enjoy the World Cup together and hassle free. No drama, no VAR drama, and all that rubbish. And let's pay close attention to all these new rules. We have our own timers starting out. That should be yellow. That should be red. It's gonna blow up. But have a good World Cup. Have a good day. Have a good week. We'll be back again on Tuesday for the Trivia Tuesdays as normal. But hopefully get on and do a few lives while the games are on, because it's perfect time for me. Hopefully the kids will be in bed. Everyone will be asleep in my household, and I'll be up watching the football till the very last whistle. Most nights, if not every night. So have a good rest of the week. Do what you do the usual, and we'll see you soon. See you later.